Yo, welcome to Music is a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean, and Music is a Day Job is brought to you by the Concert app. The Concert app is an artist accelerator app that takes artists from opener to headliner to on tour and gives the fan the best experience in independent live music. Now, today, a lot of people have been asking me, I've been going for a second, but a lot of people have been asking me what I feel about the Drake versus Kendrick situation. Of course, the lawsuit coming and everything like that. People have been asking me since the beef started, and I haven't said anything because I'm not the biggest fan of either one of them. So I'm not the biggest Drake fan. I'm not the biggest Kendrick fan. They both have songs that I enjoy. I respect both of their talent. They're both very talented people. But I guess you can say I'm older now, so the music I listen to is very different, I guess. Even the rappers I listen to are from the past more than they are currently, even though I'm around the same age as them. I just, their music doesn't connect with me the way it should connect with me, because I don't see it exactly the same way as a lot of them. My favorite rappers are Tupac is one of my favorite rappers. DMX is probably my second favorite rapper. 50 Cent's one of my favorite rappers. Who else would I say? Eminem. So, I grew up listening to those guys. So with the Drake and Kendrick beef, a lot of people wonder what's going to go on. Is it whack? Did he's building a lawsuit or whatnot? See, the way I see it is, I heard 50 Cent say something today, because I feel the same way about the music industry. Like, I'm not a big fan of the music industry. That's why I built my own app to build my own music industry. So I don't really care for that much stuff that goes on in the music industry from that point. So 50 said, when he was on Interscope, he was like, the same company that's promoting G Unit is promoting GU Not at the same time. And that's because they're playing both sides and making money from both sides. So when you look at UMG or the label all of them are under, they're Drake people and they're Kendrick people. So the people making money off of all this are the exact same people. So a lot of the ideas that are even presented in the music, I can't really rock with, because all of y'all are paying the same people. Like, the people who are making all the money and the people who's going to make the billions off of this are the exact same people or person that both of them have spoke upon. And so to me, it's kind of like, well, you can't really play the, hey, I'm the independent dude or I'm the up and coming dude, and then you can't really play the, like, this is unfair dude at the same pace, because both of y'all are on an unfair track compared to the majority of independent artists. So to me, as an independent artist, I don't really rock with none of it. So I don't see you know what I'm saying? Like, as an independent artist, both of y'all are like products that have been built and are used in ways that so much money is put behind you that it's unfair compared to the other artists. So I don't see anyone as that, you know what I'm saying? Like, the independent artist that works crazy hard or anything like that. I respect the talent, but I know what the machine is. So to me, but when you look at things from the standpoint of the lawsuit, Drake's basically saying they're doing illegal things to push, but of course they've probably done illegal things to push Drake. So inside this, if there is something extra illegal that is inside this that was done to help Kendrick or anything like that, from the idea of someone looking from the outside that doesn't have, like, I don't like either of them really like that. So I'm not like, oh, I got to be on this side or that side. Like, I see it from the idea of, if there is something that can be proven in this that is illegal, for independent artists, that would be amazing, because then it would show that it's actually an unfair landscape. And if something was to come in and actually change this for independent artists to where DSPs can't do that and they can't push one artist more than another and it ends up becoming a fair landscape, that'll actually make it easier for us to pop and for us to get views and stuff like that. And there won't be these playlists that can guarantee artists to the top. If that happens, then, or if that comes from this, that would be amazing for us as independent artists. Personally, because I don't have a personal like feeling towards any of this, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel any way towards who's winning, who's losing. Like, it is what it is. Like, because as I said, the money goes to the same person. And so a lot of the points that were made during this whole, like on both sides of the beef, a lot of the points are almost like you got Drake on one side, like he's, you know, he talks crazy. And then when somebody else puts the power in somebody else's hands, then now he's suing, which is, and then you have Kendrick pushing the, well, you're being helped by the labels extra crazy and they're double pumping you, but then they're doing that for you too. So then it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can't, like, to me, at the end of the day, I know who's making the money off of it. So nobody's the person who speaks for my people and my situation or anything like that, because as an independent artist, I'm not getting, like, ain't nobody getting pushed like that. Like, I got to go out and grind and book my own shows and do all this stuff myself. So then to me, it's like, yo, like, you have a machine that's $1 billion machine putting billions behind you guys. And how do I even see out of this? Like, I can't see anything that I go, yeah, like, I get it. No, I don't get it. So either way, with this situation, as I said, if there is something illegal that's happening in here, like they said, that like the 30% idea and everything like that, with whether there's an extra amount that's being pushed towards Kendrick or anything like that, if anything was to show this, we would hope that it would be something that could help independent artists to be like, okay, well, if DSPs are pushing specific artists and they're actually illegally doing this in a way that makes it so it's an unfair advantage outside of regular promotional push, there's an unfair advantage for these artists because of the ways that they're connected to these streaming platforms, then for us, of course, that becomes a conversation of like, well, can we make this some way where the streaming platforms aren't allowed to do that, or something of that nature, to where it evens out the playing field for us independent artists. You know, whether this happens or not, I really doubt it, because everyone's working for the same person. So a lot of it is like, where is this gonna go? And then people have asked me about what I feel about the Super Bowl. I feel the same way. Like, a lot of these things are given to the same situations that are tied to the same situation. So I don't care who performs, because it's like, I'm not the biggest fan of the music industry. So then I know how these people get into these spaces. Like, I understand why you get these spaces and who you have to be around to get into these spaces. So then no one just gets into these spaces. It's not like they're just going to randomly say, oh, you know, this kid from Arizona is going to headline the Super Bowl. It's not like they say that. They're very precise and calculated with how these people get to these points and then get to these next points. So it's no surprise. Like, it's not like, oh man, like the underdog's getting it. No, they may present it like that, but it's never that. People ask me what I felt about of course, like Wayne being in New Orleans and it being in New Orleans, and then last time it was in California and California artists. Now, what I feel with that is, if Jay is setting this up to be, if you're in the city that you get to rock, then like, if it goes to New York and Jay-Z performs, I'd be like, why didn't you let Wayne perform? You dig what I'm saying? Like, if it goes to Miami and he lets Rick Ross perform, then I'm going to be like, why did you not let Wayne perform? If this is just a random, like, I'm just going to put people in because of like their momentum, of course, Kendrick deserves it. Kendrick has the most momentum. He's currently probably the biggest rapper in the game right now. But if it's based off of like, let's celebrate the culture in that city, then of course you would go with something like Wayne. Now, to me, of course, I think Kendrick performances are better than Wayne's. So you have that aspect. On the other end, I feel like the people in New Orleans, like the actual people in New Orleans, want to see Wayne. So that's once again, I said, that's a toss up. To me, the industry pushes what it wants to push, and we really don't have a say. It's a lot tied to like who you know, why you know them, who gets money in their pockets, and all that stuff. And that's with all these artists. So then, as I said, I'm not an industry guy, so then I'm not a fan of the selection or anything like that, because I know that the selection is based off of a very specific criteria, and they push it along, and they make it act like you guys are selecting it, and it really is. It's been set up this whole time, and they're just playing the motion straight through. So to me, as I said, I'm not a big. I never was. If we go back to the beginning of this, I never was a big Drake fan. I never was a big Kendrick fan. So I don't have like a choice personally with who's winning and why they're winning, or if I'm excited, or what I cared about the what I cared about the songs. They made some good songs, both talented dudes. I don't know what's true, what's not true. The only thing I know is they're with the same company, and they make the same person money. And my experience with the industry and the way I feel, if you're making money for them, hey, you're the same as them to me. And that's where we'll end it. So that's my 2 cents on that. Once again, this is the Music as a Day Job podcast. My name is Sean. It's brought to you by the Concert app. Now the Concert app is in tons of different states now. So definitely get on the app. If you're an artist, get on some shows. You'll see some shows out there. You just tap on and be like, yo, I want this slot. We talk about the details, and you can get on some shows. If you know some venues, let us know, because then that helps us get into more places, maybe in your city or in other cities around you. If we aren't in your state or city, then of course let us know. We want to see all those artists that come in. That if you can tell tons of artists, get on, because then when we see that demand, it makes it easier for us to expand to those places, and that makes it quicker for you to make music as a day job. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and definitely download the Concert app right now. Yeah.